So have you ever wondered if you're making a mistake as a pet parent? Or maybe you've questioned whether other pet parents are facing the same struggles as you. Well, you are not alone, and that is exactly what we will be diving into on Tails and Tones today. But before we get into the 5 mistakes that I made as a dog mom, I'd love for you to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode packed with real talk, helpful tips, and heartwarming stories from our dog-loving community. You can also join our newsletter. Just head on over to the link in our Instagram bio at Tails and Tones for updates and extras delivered straight to your inbox. Alrighty, let's dig in. Hi there and welcome to Tails and Tones. I'm your host, Mariska Nell, also known as Piper's Mom. And today we are getting real, but not in a guilt-tripping, I messed everything up kind of way. More in a, wow, I learned a lot and maybe you will too kind of way. So whether you are a brand new dog parent or you've been at the game for a while, I'm sharing 5 mistakes that I made with our pup Piper and all the aha moments that basically changed the way that I show up for her. So let's dig in. Number 1 was not prioritizing training early enough. So when we first brought Piper home, I was just so happy to have her. She was this amazing, cute rescue, only a couple of months old, and have already gone through multiple surgeries. So I, in a way, felt sorry for her, and I just wanted to shower her with love, and so I did. I gave her the freedom, playtime, cuddles. She basically ruled the house, and I did not prioritize training. I used to think training meant this very harsh and strict, military drill type, way how you do the training. You set time aside and it's like training, and playtime and training and playtime. But after a few sessions with an amazing gentle trainer, I just had this light bulb moment. And that was that every single moment I spend with Piper is a training opportunity. And it doesn't have to be this stern, we're in training mode. It can be mindful, it can be fun, and of course, it can be loving. And these little fur balls are like little sponges. They just soak up everything we share with them. And if you have some treats on hand as rewards, that can also help. So I basically made a list and just put some goals on there. What is the priorities that I want Piper to kind of achieve? And these included stuff like being able to, use the doggy door so she can actually go potty outside. And when we came to Dubai, it was prioritizing the indoor grass station, knowing that, she knows how to use it and not only makes her life easier, but also ours because no accidents. So that was definitely a priority. And to be able to sit and wait calmly for meals. So we've got this little routine where she sits, she looks at me, and then she can have her meal. And also whenever we do go walking, that, there is actually a loose leash type of thing that she's not pulling. So that was just some of our priorities. And also to understand and have her understand when is it playtime and when is it rest time. So that is one that I would say kind of the jury is still open on that one because sometimes we get it, sometimes not. But it's also to understand from my perspective when she is full of energy, she's probably not going to lie on her bed while I record a podcast. She, needs to also release some energy, go for a walk, have a play. So it's really also understanding that. And the key with this training was basically consistency and also to celebrate. So if your dog is food motivated, use that joyfully. Like, honestly, reward them with their treats. And what we do is normally I will take some of Piper's kibble and I would give that as like treats as well. So she doesn't add on all the extra treats, But this foundation actually really helped us with our talking button journey as well. But that is like a whole new episode that I will dig into in the future as well. The second thing was not listening to their body language. So when you first become a pet parent, there's like this steep learning curve. I didn't know how to kind of read Piper at first. I was like, what's happening? She's showing some signals, but what does that mean? And I think it's the same with us as well. Obviously, they can pick up when we're happy, when we're sad. So it's like kind of juggling, this like body language to really understand each other. So some of the signs that I definitely look out for now, but obviously had to do some reading in, like, why is her hair standing like that or the fur raised on her back, like those raised hackles. Usually now, if someone or a dog is approaching and that happens, it usually means she's uneasy, they might have surprised her, she's not feeling it, she's not 100% comfortable. And that is my cue to step up for her and to be able to say, okay, let's move her away from the situation. If someone's approaching, that's happening, maybe just like say to them, sorry, can you just like stay there? If in a moment I see, okay, her hair, it's fine. And if they come closer, it's maybe going away. But most of the times I just move her out of that situation. I don't want to stress her up. So that is my cue. Get her away in safety. And also, Piper's got these beautiful French Bulldog ears. So when her ears are being pulled back, you definitely see that. And that is a sign that, she's either discomforted or she is super overstimulated. Like when that zoomies go in and those ears, it's definitely a sign. So it's something to look out for and to kind of evaluate. What is it? Is it that she is in that red zone where she's going to zoom around, or is there some discomfort? So kind of evaluate that. And then tail language. So a lot of other dog has got beautiful long tails that you can clearly tell it is wagging away. So they're super happy. Piper's got such a short tail, being Frenchie. But even with that short tail, I can definitely tell, tiny movements like, whenever she's shaking that entire booty and when I've just returned home and she's so excited, or even when she's kind of uneasy and you can still see, even with that little tail, if it's almost like little tucked in, you can definitely see. So all of these are like signs that you can actually help her and that can help you to read that body language, to really support her instead of unintentionally overwhelming her and keeping her in situations that she's not feeling comfortable. Because in those situations, that might be where something can happen, whether it is she's not prone to, bite kids, but all the signs are there and, she kind of nibbed at something or, something. So all of that can happen in situations where they're not comfortable. So reading body language, absolutely critical now. And I wish I kind of knew that earlier. And I normally just give like the minute to assess the situation. And, if people also want to come and say hi, a lot of the times with Piper, she looks angry. Honestly, like if you see her face, I've had kids look at her and be like, "Whoa, angry!" She's just got that face. But a lot of people still want to say hi to her. So I always kind of assess the situation, see what is she doing? Is she having a body language where it's like okay for them to come say hi? Or is she like, can you just like leave me alone kind of thing? So it is really, really important. And also when people approach, like, is there sensitive areas that Piper's obviously had all of the surgeries to her face. So she is super sensitive around her face. So if someone new approached her, I would definitely say, please don't touch her face. But before we move on to the next mistakes that I've made as a dog mom, we'd love to introduce a segment that we will be featuring on the podcast. And I need your help, listeners. It is Ask a Soulful Mom Q&A segment. So each week I will be answering some soulful dog mom questions or dog dads, dog parent, just ask away. So you're going to either have me as someone to answer the question, or I will get an expert in the particular area. So what you can do is you can head on over to our Instagram, Tails and Tones, all one word, and you can send us a DM with your question, Ask a Soulful Mom, and we will kind of go through that and feature some of those questions. I'll try, if there's like a lot, I'll try and consolidate and we will try and answer that. So I am looking forward to actually getting your questions for our future episodes, so please do keep them coming. Now, let's continue with the 5 mistakes that I made as a dog mom. Number 3 is letting those bad habits just like slide because it is super cute. So when Piper was little, she used to do this super adorable play bow and kind of bark routine, and I'm gonna try and post some videos on her social as well, because like even when she was at the rescue she was doing that and it was so adorable. And when we would be lying on the sofa and sleep, she would do that and like kind of, you know, wake us up and do the whole play bow bark, and we thought it was honestly so cute. And then she got bigger and she loves doing it at daycare now. So at daycare, seen some videos, poor dogs. So dogs would be sleeping and minding their own business, and Piper would just go up to them and start doing that to them. And yeah, I feel, you know, it is funny when you see it, but then my concern is that one day she might do that to the wrong dog, and that's where all hell goes loose. Like, you know, some of the dogs actually jump up and try and chase her, and she's fast. She's fast on short distances, so it works for now. But yeah, it's definitely something that we're working on. So when she does that at home now, I kind of redirect her behavior and kind of guide her. So when I see she starts with that, I immediately either get a rope so we can play rope, because I know she wants to play, but she cannot do that because if she does that to the dogs, there might be issues. So even at daycare, I kind of, you know, ask them, please, when she does that, please redirect her so that we don't reinforce this like bad habit. But I wish we did that sooner because maybe she would have stopped already. Number 4 is not recognizing overstimulation. So Piper can obviously go from couch potato 0 to 100 super red zone super fast, especially when she's got her ball. She like goes into this like intense moment. She's like, I'm playing kind of thing. And yeah, it's just, you can see that she's like in focus just on this. She won't listen to anything else. It's just like, I'm in the zone, you know, and she gets so hyper. So that has happened so many times where if she does play with the ball, she'll kind of just like snap and bite at it or something. And what has happened with this is that on a number of occasions, she has bitten her tongue. Frenchies, they have a lot of tongue, not a lot of space. So it is something that, you kind of need to be mindful with. If you look at her tongue now, like our vet is just like, what happened to this dog? Definitely to kind of see when this is approaching. Like, I look for when she's like hyper focused. She might be doing a like fast panting. And also she's like ignoring cues. So like when she's in the zone and I'm like, okay, Piper, and she's not responding, then that is typically when I try to like redirect her attention. Like, if she's playing with the ball and that's her number one thing, I try to give her something that's still like a high value item, but I don't try to reward, like give her treats or something, maybe just like say something like, oh, we go walkies, or something that she really, really likes. So it's just kind of a way to get her to go down out of that red zone and not continue. So before we go into the final mistake that I've made, I also want to do a positive rant and just like get it off my chest and kind of hear how you guys as pet parents feel about that. And that is dog poop. Like, honestly, I know my dog poops twice a day. I know it. I'm prepared for it. But this is specifically targeted at people that do not pick up their dog poop. Like, if you're an owner, a dog walker, whatever, like, it absolutely drives me nuts when someone don't pick it up. So I'm usually that person that if I see the dog has pooped, I'm like, someone hasn't picked it up, I kind of point it out. And the reason this rant is that this week Piper stepped full on into a pile of dog poop, like that someone didn't pick up, and it was like a not the best consistency, I might say. So it was a disaster mid-walk. Luckily, I had some wet wipes in our stroller bag and could wipe it down. But honestly, it was gross. And I was like, this could have been avoided if someone just like picked it up. So it also makes it really, really hard for other dog parents, because if people don't pick up after their dog, it doesn't only like it can cause viruses and things to spread, but it also makes spaces less welcoming for dogs, because people are like, oh, you don't pick up after your dog. And I'm like, I always pick up, but I know there's other people that don't. So, shoes cleaned, rant over, but please do let me know, what do you do when you see someone leave a pile behind? Like, do you offer a bag? Do you say something? Or do you just like kind of judge them and shake your head and get over it? So, a quick pause. If you are enjoying this podcast so far, please don't forget that you can join our email list, our newsletter, for bonus tips, updates, and a little extra love in your inbox. And you can go onto our Instagram at Tails and Tones. The link's in the bio. And if you're vibing the show, I'd be so grateful if you can share it with a fellow dog parent. And if you really loved it, please do head on over to Podchaser. Link is in our Instagram bio. And leave a review. It would really help other dog lovers and parents find us. And I'd love to hear from you. Come say hi. Let me know what you love about this episode on Instagram at Tails and Tones. And now, drum roll, we are heading into the final mistake that I made. So keeping the best one for last, as this one honestly could have ended up in a serious fatality. Like, my heart still skips a beat when I think about this one. And that is not fully dog-proofing our house. You look at the size of this little French bulldog, 5 months old, and you think, much trouble can this dog cause? And I was super careful with Piper, having a cleft palate. I kind of, sharp things in the house. I was super serious about that. Anything like a pen, if she chewed on a pen, it could have stick through her cleft, and it could cause some serious damage. So I was really cautious about that. But what I didn't anticipate was cables. In particular, cable, there was two. The first one was my laptop cord. So I stepped away, went to the kitchen for a couple of minutes, make a cup of tea, and I realized that, all of our electricity is gone. And then realized that Piper chewed in that few minutes through my laptop cord. And then I also realized that she was halfway through chewing the doggy cam wire as well. So luckily she wasn't hurt, but oh my, was that a wake-up call. So after that, I literally got down on Piper's eye level, like literally crawling around the house, and just kind of looked at everything that she can see and be like, okay, she can see this. Like, is this a hazard? Like, is she going to get to those cables? But then it also made me realize that I cannot super doggy proof our bedroom. I cannot super doggy proof the study. So those doors are shut and they are off limits to her when I'm not around. So when I'm in the study, she can be in the study. Kind of that just gave me that security that she's not going to chew through the laptop cable and electrocute herself. And I also, the other thing that I used, because she loved our IKEA wooden furniture. That was her number one chew thing. Like, you could give her all the toys in the world, but she would opt for that, the little corners. Obviously, being a cleft pup, I was just like, no, we can't have that. So I started using this bitter spray that I got from the shop. It tastes terrible, but it really helped her to, not chew on those surfaces. And it was a little bit uncomfortable. Every time you touched it, you could actually kind of get this taste of it. So it wasn't the best. I wish there was some better options. But it definitely kind of secured those items so that she couldn't hurt herself. So the aha moment was basically puppies don't need full access to your house right away. Prioritize their safety and make sure everything is being secured. So being a good pet parent isn't all about being perfect. It's about being present and learning as you go. Here's the thing. I didn't make all of these mistakes because I didn't care. I made them because I was learning. And have you guys made any of these mistakes? I would love to hear from you. How did you handle them? What was those chew items, that your doggo had? Or is there some that I did not mention on this list and you were like, I would love to share that one. Please do reach out. I would love to hear from you. And if your dog is anything like mine, they have probably already forgiven you for every single one of these mistakes. So moving into our next segment, which is called Fetch or Forget, which is a quick product review. And this week, or on this episode, I am reviewing the Chuckit Air Fetch ball. So this is a super bright orange ball, and it has become Piper's go-to ball. It is also her stolen ball that she stole from my in-laws' dogs, and ever since then, she has been absolutely loving it. I love that it's got basically holes, so it makes it easier for a brachycephalic dog, to breathe while they are, carrying or fetching this ball. I love that it's kind of, lightweight and it's a bright color, so it's easy to find outdoors. But what I didn't like about this product, and over time, the ball gets kind of chewed through, and you definitely need to look out for that because that has also been the cause of her biting her tongue. So we need to check if it's getting a little bit flimsy. We need to replace the ball. I'm also not 100% happy with the material. It would probably not have been a ball that I would have picked off the shelf, but it's a ball Piper picked, or stole rather. So we kind of kept it, and for now we've got so many of those balls because I'm always scared one's going to go missing, and we had an incident where the ball had to be replaced, and yeah, it took a while for her to get used to another ball that looks like the same as that ball, but you get it. I'm sure you get the ball problem. So fetch or forget. I will definitely fetch it because if I do not purchase these balls anymore, I'm sure Piper will definitely forget me. So we do like these balls, but obviously it does come with some challenges. So our next segment is Where Tails Meet Hearts. And this is where we will share some heartwarming stories to you. And this week's come from a really cool video that I saw featuring our favorite fluent pet talking button doggo, and that is from Bunny. And I will post that in the show notes as well, so you can actually look at that video and know exactly what I was talking about. Now, during this video, Bunny was actually staying with her grandparents while Mom and Dad was on holiday, and at one point, she kind of pressed the button to say she wants to go home. And her granddad, John, responded with, like, soon, you'll go home soon. And it was just so touching to see how she used her buttons, even when she wasn't in her usual environment, showing just how much she understood and also how much her family missed her. And honestly, if I got that video from Piper, I would be super, super like, at least she loves me kind of moment. So I'm going to share that with you so you can have a look at that as well. And now for our final segment of the show, it is time for our Paw-lebrity of the week. So can we get a drum roll? I don't know if that was drum roll, but let's go with it. This week's Paw-lebrity is none other than Hiya London. Now, this pup is honestly doing big things. She has just relocated, or a little bit back, to Dubai, and she's absolutely a fabulous, sassy Chihuahua that loves to stroll in style. And we've been so lucky to bump into her and her mom on a couple of our daily walks here in Dubai. And she's all about style and living up that Chihuahua life in Dubai. So you can follow her shenanigans on Hiya_London, and we'll pop that in the show notes as well. And if you know a Paw-lebrity, which we need to feature on this show, please do send them our way. We love celebrating pups who bring personality to the pavement, so would love to share that as well. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Tails and Tones. In the next episode, we will be talking about how to make your pet adoption application stand out. So if there's anyone that you know that's going through that process, make sure they tune in to the next one. And if today's episode spoke to you, or you think a fellow pet parent would love it too, please do share it with them and take a moment to leave a review on podchaser.com. There's a link in our bio on our Instagram, Tails and Tones, and it really helps other fellow pet parents to actually find the show. If you've got any feedback, stories, or questions, I would love to hear from you. Come say hi on Instagram at Tails and Tones. So here's to showing up with heart for the ones who wag, wiggle, and wait at the door. See you in the next one.